Hi class. Some of you were unavailable and could not attend the instructor live lab session that I did this week. I wanted to take just a few minutes and show you a few of the slides that I went over during our instructor live lab session. After going through the discussions and the assignments as well as the tests that are due this week, I also talked about the musculoskeletal system. The musculoskeletal system incorporates bones, muscles, and connective tissue, which are your ligaments, your tendons, and your fascia. Collectively, these body parts provide the framework for your body. They create your movements, and they dictate the degree of your flexibility. They comprise approximately 60% of your body mass, and they expend most of your energy. There are 206 bones in your skeleton, and these are made up of living cells embedded within a dense layer of protein and minerals. We looked at bones and muscles as well as joints and connective tissues. We also talked about ossification. Ossification is the development of bone within the osseous system. So it's bone development. The term is used to refer to the natural formation of bone, such as in the development of a fetus and during the first years of life. At the same time, the term can also be applied to the occurrence of irregularities in bone development that lead to health issues in children and adults. It's not unusual for some people to confuse ossification with the process of calcification. Essentially, calcification involves the formation of calcium crystals and salts within cells and tissue. This means that calcification occurs as one part of the process of ossification. However, it doesn't account for the entire process. I also talked about fetal development and osteoblast and osteoclast. Osteoblasts are the immature osteocytes that produce the bony tissue that replaces cartilage during ossification. Relate that B that you see in osteoblast to building. These bone cells are constantly rebuilding. Osteoclast, clast is from the Greek word meaning to break, are large cells that function to reabsorb or digest bony tissue. Osteoclasts are also called phagocytes because they digest bone tissue from the inner sides of the bone, and then this enlarges that inner bone cavity so that the bone doesn't become overly thick and heavy. I like to think of it as cleaning. So the C in osteoclast you can relate with cleaning, getting that matrix ready for osteoblasts to build new bone. When a bone breaks, osteoblast will lay down the mineral bone matter, which are your calcium salts, and then osteoclast will remove excess bone debris, so they're smoothing out the bone. Osteoblast and osteoclast work together in all bones throughout life, tearing down by the osteoclasts and rebuilding by the osteoblast our bony tissue. This allows bone to respond to mechanical stresses that are placed on it, and it enables it to be a living tissue, constantly rebuilding and renewing itself. The formation of bone depends largely on a proper supply of calcium and phosphorus to the bone tissue. And we looked at how vitamin D plays a role in that process. I talked about and explained the different types of bones that we have. We looked in depth at the epiphyseal growth plate and what happens if that growth plate gets damaged. We walked through the different bones of the cranium, And we also looked at the occipital bone and how the foramen magnum aids in brain communication with the rest of the body. We talked about the spinal column and the 4 curvatures. We also learned about the metacarpal and the metatarsal bones. The metacarpals are long bones that are connected to the carpals, known as our wrist bone. They're connected at the wrist, and then they connect there to the phalanges or the finger bones. The tops of the metacarpals form the knuckles where they join the wrist. On the palm side, they are covered with connective tissue. You can feel and see metacarpals on the back of your hand through your skin. A good way to associate metacarpals with your hand is metacarpals steer the car. See the word car in metacarpals? Metacarpals equal hand. The metatarsal bones are a group of 5 long bones in the foot, located between the tarsal bone of the hind and midfoot and the phalanges of the toes. Notice we have phalanges in our hands and phalanges in our feet. These are our fingers and our toes. Lacking individual names, the metatarsal bones are numbered from the medial side, which is the great toe side, as the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th metatarsals, often depicted with Roman numerals. A good way to remember metatarsal equals foot is you walk the tarmac streets with your feet. See the word tar in metatarsal. We also went through some of the important terms in your Understanding Hospital Billing textbook. I looked at accounts receivable as well as insurance information. We talked about hospital evolution, the early development of hospitals, the American Medical Association, and how rising costs created a healthcare burden that we see today. We looked at some of the modern day hospital terminology and the health information department management. Time management is an important skill that we all have to learn. If we don't manage our time, it will certainly manage us. Please know that I am here to help you. My success depends on your success. Please reach out to me with any questions that you may have. There may be times when you're just not sure about some of the information that you're learning or how an assignment is to be done. And this is normal. You shouldn't feel embarrassed. Just reach out to me. All the instructors here at UMA want to help you succeed. I hope you will be able to attend our next Instructor Live Lab session. Please see the Instructor Availability tab for the next scheduled session.